Alright guys, I'm going to try to keep this quick, but I got a lot to kind of cover about this issue. And anyway, this video is on what I consider for myself to be the best 9mm. When I started looking for 9mm for about 2 years, because I'm more of a 45 guy, but with the price of ammo, I had to, I was thinking, hey, I could shoot a lot more. You know what I'm saying? I could, in case some shit happens, I could probably afford a lot more rounds, stock up. And I like the high capacity in this. What happens if, there's reasons for having a high capacity gun, I like a 1911 for a 45. 8 rounds, you can go with the 10 rounders, but I just don't like the protruding out the back of it. But anyway, I was looking for high capacity 9mm. That being over for since I was gonna get a 9mm full size gun, it had to be 15 rounds and over, or 15 rounds or over. I mean, I've researched every brand, thick and thin. I mean, I did 2 years worth of research before I finally decided, because each one had features I liked, each one had features that I didn't like. I almost bought a Glock. They said don't have a safety. It says trigger safe. By the way, let's get this out of the way. The gun has been safety checked. You can see the chamber. You can see through. I'll decock it. Safety Sally. But anyway, let's turn this, get this way. Anyway, it don't have a safety, and when the shit hits the fan, which I've been unfortunately had the unfortunate experience of it happening to quite a few times, whether it be someone trying to break in my car, or some messing around on property, or some drunks, some of my house or something like that. People trying to break in. I've been, what I'm saying, had a lot of bad stuff I'm not getting into. But anyway, I've been unlucky a few times, but I came out on top. So anyway, yeah, keep a cool head in the situation, but you also got to train yourself. You got to be mentally focused for whatever. And when the shit, I don't care who you are. If you go, that's why they didn't like cops. A lot of people just stick with the Glock because when they're not expecting something, we go to pull the gun out, the safety isn't engaged. The safety's engaged. They go, it's pointed in a safe direction, and they end up getting killed. That is an issue with training. And if you keep alternating back and forth, you gotta be able to trust yourself, being a frame of mind. And even in a pinch, if you ain't got, I don't like packing one in the chamber if I got a Glock, unless I got it holstered. Glock's got the trigger safety, but I don't consider that a safety. That's a hammer block, pretty much. When you press that, it disengages something in there that allows you to fire it. Well, that little spring, Glock's one of the best made guns there is, no doubt about it. Reliability, accuracy, functionability, durability. I wish they would come out with a line that had safeties just for us people and single action, because if you're gonna have a safety, why not have single action? That's the way I kind of see it. I researched. So, Springfield XD. I'm not gonna talk about all the guns I researched, but the main ones I kind of thought about. Springfield XD. They haven't. I know people that's got them, so they never had a problem with them. I've seen a couple people, you know, online that's had both Glocks and Springfield XDs. So they're both about the same reliability. So the Glocks fuck up, every gun fucks up. You know, people that make the guns have shitty days sometimes. I'm sure their bosses are assholes. So I just wanted to frame. I'm sure their bosses are assholes. You know, they might be just trying to push out production, what have you. Well, anyway, I researched SIGs, HKs, CZs. I didn't do HKs to see when it came down for me to selecting the 9mm. It was pretty much three basic things: high capacity, reliability and accuracy, and affordability. Because that's one part of buying a 9. I mean, hell, you can spend $800 on a 9mm that's no better than, you know, because there's a lot of reliable 9mm. Like I looked into CZ, and CZ has a proven design. It's reliable. I mean, they're pretty good guns. So it sparked off a lot of shit. Brandon High Power started, was, you know, the original. CZ stole their shit. Okay, you don't want to hear nothing about that. But anyway, CZ, SIG. It's all about SIGs. SIGs are up there. SIGs are pretty expensive. And then it kind of, you know, none of them really had the this for the in the price range I was looking at was 600 or under, and the magazine capacity and safety and just the features that I liked on it was pretty much this: you can't pack none of them cocked and locked, except for, you know, except for maybe some of the more expensive ones. I forgot which ones does what, because, you know, it was 2 years of research on them. I canceled them out. You know, CZ's expensive for the ones I wanted. Then I started thinking about the Beretta. You know, it came up between Beretta and Glock. Glock had a big, with the safety issue, there's a big dampening on my buying a Glock, so I pretty much canceled that out. But, you know, there's gonna be a day we have idiots out there like the Tucson shooting that try to mess it up for everybody and do stupid shit. And, you know, it's not that violent people won't commit crimes. You know, you could, if you research it online, you could figure out how to make a bomb. You know, be glad that we ain't got more people making, you know, homemade explosives like it's happened in the past. You know, people will figure out a way if they want to hurt somebody. Ignorant people. God bless anybody that's ever been in the shooting, you know, or goes out to them. But anyway, the Beretta design. I like the Beretta design. Did my research on it. Know a lot of people that's been in the military. A lot of people have shot them. And I know a lot of people that own them. And people, I don't care what you have, whether it's if you go out and spend your hard-earned money on it, it's hard for 90% of most people to admit there's some shit about whatever they spent $200 or $300 on they don't like, or it's unreliable, you know, because people like to brag or people like to show off. You know, you don't want to be like, look at this gun, man. It never ever, it's like a single shot pistol. Every time it fires, I gotta recock it and you know, the stovepipes every time I shot it. It's a piece of shit, you know. You know, especially if you're trying to, most people only got 1 or 2 guns. Or anyway, but this gun was I didn't like the Beretta. The Beretta is proven out there does not have the reliability that some of the other ones have, the SIGs and the I would think CZ. You might complain about that, I don't know, but from the research I did, CZs are awesome guns. H&K, I've researched them all. You know, back in the day I've looked at High Point. You know, I got people that defend, people will defend any kind of gun. I'm talking about full size pistols here, guys, this size, or you know, Glock size or whatever, Glock, all those pistols. But the Beretta, it just, people was complaining about it. It says, yeah, it might shoot 2-3 thousand, you know, thousand rounds. Some people might have perfect look out of them. They say, most people say it's a magazine issue. I think it was Maggar that was supposed to make the mags for them originally, and they kind of blowed out on the deal, and the mags that got this sandpaper type, or this sand like coating on the magazines, and it, that's what they say, causes them jam. They're just not, so you might shoot 1,000 rounds and have one jam. Personally, with me, I like my guns never to jam. I want them to be 100% reliable. You know, it's not always the case, but I like the QA to be a little better. But I started thinking about, I didn't really know about this until much till I started researching online, because Taurus ain't got a, never, it's hard for me to buy a Taurus. They burnt their name out. I've had a couple guns, but older guns, you know, like from the early 90s ish, and 95 ish, and you know, some of their newer line of guns, like their 24/7 Pro, before the like one of the first generations, or 24/7 series. You know, they burnt their name out on me. So if I ever buy a Taurus, I'll do my damn research on it, you know. And the last three, I bought 3 Tauruses recently. Haven't been let down. But anyway, and another thing, I didn't like the position of the safety on the Beretta. It's a little high. I could get over that easy. That's no problem. But when you decock it, when you put the safety on, the safety acts as a decocker safety. It and you can't, after you turn the safety back off, put it back into single action, which I really, you know, and I would rather have, you know, single action, you know, but that's the way they designed that gun. So I guess the military, or they just originally intended it to be, and that's the way they like it. But I don't, this is me. I'm not saying, I don't want all y'all people saying this gun, I'm not saying this gun's better than anybody else, but I know this gun is the best gun for me at this point. This gun, so I looked to a Taurus, did a lot of research, and Beretta snobs will harp on this gun completely. I mean, they just, it's not reliable, it's that and other. Everyone I ever talked to own one, which quite a few. I did a lot. I did probably about 6 months worth of, you know, every once in a while finding out about it, you know, doing more and more, and even hearing from a guy who can't stand any gun but a Ruger tell me this is one of the best guns he's ever owned. I looked into people that's owned both of them, because I was concerned about reliability and accuracy, and this also has a higher magazine count, 17 plus 1's 18 rounds instead of 15. I don't like extended magazines. It's just me. I mean, yeah, if you know you're getting ready to go in for war, it might be a good thing to have, but the way I see it, most time when you buy aftermarket mags, unless it's some special brand that's been around, unless it's a, you know, like a 1911, it's been around for a long time, or a Glock or something like that, it's been around for a long time and proven reliability, everybody's used them for extended mags. I'm not into them. Anyway, this one is it's a clone. It's not, they bought, but I think Taurus bought it in 1980. It could have been a year later or two, but Taurus bought the Beretta plant in Brazil in 1980. They started making. They kept the same workers, same everything, same machines, and started producing Taurus made Berettas. It was a Beretta with Taurus stamped on the side. And then they started they started, what they say, and what I think is true, fixing the flaws of the Beretta. Now, I've read over all kind of shit. I can't tell you all of them. I can tell you the main things that I liked that they switched. They fixed, first of all, or one of the first of all things they did was they changed the magazines. This fucking light, I can't stand halogen light, man. I'm getting a softer light. I think it'll put out more. Just ain't getting around to it. I'm going to Walmart here in a little bit. Anyway, they fixed the safety. It can be packed, cocked and locked, or decocked. And I'll tell you what, I've put about 1,500 rounds into this gun. And I'll tell you what, this is today. I'm not bullshitting. I'm not lying to you. I'm not biased when it comes to guns. I'm more impressed with this gun than I have any other gun I've ever bought, just because of the skepticism I went through when thinking about buying this gun. It's smooth. I mean, it's the smoothest gun I've ever felt in my life. People harp on the finish on this gun compared to the other Taurus. I like this one better than the black Beretta. I mean, it's beautiful. That's why I picked this one up. When you compare this one side to side with the black one, something kind of looks a little cheaper on it. And I think it's more the grips, the way the grips look. I think maybe the white kind of offsets on it, but on this it looks good, you know. The trigger pull on this thing is amazing. It's pointed in a safe direction. If it went off, it would hit my gun safe and then the ground. The way it's aiming. Anyway, the accuracy, I ain't bullshitting on this one either. Maybe, you know, maybe I just got the one. It's got 3 dot sights on. They're easy. You can't really see the back because that shitty ass lighting. But it's got high visibility 3 dot sights on it. And I haven't put this on paper, but I was getting one MOAs at like 35 yards. I put it on I was shooting a damn Vienna sausage can 35 yards out, man. Hit it every single time. I'm right underneath of it, and that was my fault. I could tell, you know, because I was just trying to shoot more rapid, and that was shooting cellar and billet, and it was and it seemed like I was shooting even better with American Eagle, you know, and no malfunctions whatsoever. About 1,500 rounds, I think. Now the only problem they had, I will tell you this, but this was something you could tell don't happen all the time. Someone, when they installed the grips, over torqued it a little bit, almost overdid the bushing. I noticed it was kind of on the verge of going out, so I Loctited it in there so I would have a problem with it. It fell out on me because it was loose, and when I tightened in, I didn't over torque it. It just seemed like it was about to give, so I Loctited the shit out of it. I'm gonna call Taurus and we'll see if I get another bushing just for future. Who knows? 10,000 rounds of bushing might go out, you know, with the wear on the back and forth on the grips. But sorry for having such a long video. Just wanted to put this out there for people in reference. This gun ain't a shitty gun like a lot of Beretta snobs. Well, I'm not harping the Beretta. You like the Beretta, you choose how you want to defend your home and to defend your life. I'm just giving you my input. If you don't like it, don't watch.